Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. Now it's time to talk about the Ole Miss Rebels. They bring back most of their team, actually. I think they're gonna have a really good season this year. Might finish in the top 10. You know, I like how Ole Miss has looked. I know they lost, what was it? Bama, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Texas Tech. I know they finished they finished the actual season with 4 losses in a row. Or 3 losses, whatever it was. But you can't deny the fact that they were successful for the most part until they had that Alabama loss. And I think things just fell apart after that. And plus there was the drama with Lane Kiffin possibly going to Auburn. That turned out to not be true. So I think with most of their players coming back, I think they'll actually have a pretty good year. I expect Ole Miss's defense to be better. Excuse me. So they start their season off home with Mercer. I think they win that game, no problem. They go to Tulane. That might be a pretty decent game. Tulane had a really good year last year, winning the Cotton Bowl against USC with Caleb Williams there. I don't think they're beating Ole Miss because Ole Miss does have some offense as well, but they have somewhat of a defense. That's something USC did not have. So, yeah. Then they host Georgia Tech. I think they win that game. I apologize. I got allergies today, so that's why I'm struggling to talk right now a little bit. Sinuses are messed up. Then they go to Alabama, and they lose their first game of the year. This game should be a pretty decent game, but because it's at Alabama, Alabama's just a different animal at home. So I think they lose that one. Then they host LSU. Do I think LSU's the better team here? I think they are. However, I've already done an LSU season prediction, and I've said for some reason, I think, LSU's big surprise win outside of Alabama was the Ole Miss game. Their big home game was Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss's biggest home win is a top 10 quality LSU team. They win this one. Then they host Arkansas. I think they want some payback here. Arkansas beat them where they didn't really care about the season anymore. So I actually think Ole Miss wins this game. Then they go to Auburn. I've already talked about Auburn. I think they'll be a really good football team. This is a game that I had circled on the Auburn schedule. I know it's at Auburn. Auburn's hard to beat at home, especially if you're Alabama for some reason. Well, I know why. It's the Iron Bowl. But you're not Alabama, so you're not going to get their best like Alabama would. For that reason, I think Ole Miss goes to Auburn and pulls off a big victory. They win this game by 6 points or less, 30-something to 20-something maybe. Then they host Vanderbilt and Texas A&M. They should beat Vanderbilt, no problem. They have to play Texas A&M at home. They beat them last year. I know Coach Fisher lost that game. There was a little bit of drama between him and Lane Kiffin last year. Not to the level of Nick Saban's drama, but there was something going on there. Jimbo's not going to be able to do anything about it this year. He's losing. He's going to lose at home. I got Ole Miss winning that game. And then Ole Miss goes to Georgia. This game I'm very excited about for the later part of the year, as Georgia has to play them in Tennessee in back-to-back games. So this game should be a tough game. I'm not saying it's impossible for Ole Miss to win this game. I just wouldn't put any money on it because Georgia is so loaded on both sides of the ball. They're coming off back-to-back national championship seasons. They've only lost 1 game out of their last 30-something, whatever it was. The last 2 teams to beat Georgia were Florida and Alabama. If you didn't know that, during the COVID year, Florida beat Alabama when Kyle Trask was still the quarterback. And then Bama beat him in the SEC title game a couple of years back. They lose this game, in my opinion. They finish their season off with home wins over Louisiana Monroe. And they go to Mississippi State. I think they win this game. I think Lane Kiffin actually wants to be there. He actually wants to win this game more than he did last year with all the stuff going on last year. I don't think Ole Miss is going to throw in the towel like they did late last year. I think they'll still play motivated. They're still going to show up to play. They're still going to want to win games. And I think they finished the season 10-2 with a possible trip to the Sugar Bowl. Now I'll talk about the Alabama and Georgia games. These are both winnable games for Ole Miss. I'm not saying they have no chance to win. It's just the fact that they're road games. And I do believe personally that Alabama and Georgia are both top 5 quality teams. Possibly top 3 for Alabama if they get past Texas, which I think they will at home. But worst case, this is maybe 9-3 for Ole Miss. Best case, 11-1. They could pull off the big win over Alabama. Heck, Nick Saban has already lost to 2 of his ex-assistances. What's the third one going to matter? It matters, but you know what I mean. So there you have it. I got Ole Miss going 10-2. I think they're headed in the right direction with Lane Kiffin. Again, I think there was just a lot of drama going on behind the scenes, outside of the coaching for Auburn or whatnot. The possibility of Lane Kiffin leaving. And, I mean, it's up to Lane Kiffin to get his guys ready to play despite losing 2 games, big games. You got to understand, hey, you guys are Ole Miss. You guys are a really good football team. I think Ole Miss was better than 8-5 last year. That's just my opinion. They should have won 10 or more games last year, but it is what it is. Ole Miss should go 10-2, most likely.